That is in the main courthouse. And as you can see, they're building a back of the main courthouse. And the judges will be moving, as I understand it, to the back of that building. And my predecessor someday may be moving to the front. We are not located. There's two judges over there, Judge Paskey, Judge Rambo. I'm going to tell you, Judge Rambo has been a pleasant addition to the Common Pleas Court. I believe we are very fortunate to have that young man as a judge. I think he's doing a great job in his first year on the bench. They handle felonies. They handle big civil actions where people are getting sued over big dollars, and that's across the street. They have two magistrates. My court is the Juvenile and Probate Court. I've been on the bench 14 years this past September. I have 14 months to go. Our court is located in the courthouse annex. That's that red brick building on the west side of Chardon Square, across the street from the main courthouse. We are on the second floor. The juvenile court handles juvenile court. What is that? Well, we handle your delinquencies for young people. And I'm happy to say that in general, in 14 years, the number of delinquent cases we have has dropped off dramatically.
Right.
Now, there may be a couple reasons for that. One is, and if you look around the room, our county is getting older. Therefore, there are less juveniles to get in trouble living in Geauga County. Secondly, I think they're just doing less prosecution, trying to deal with these matters in a less penal type approach. I will say this though, the nature of some of our juvenile matters has still been serious. I was on the bench 5 months when T.J. Lane shot up the Chardon cafeteria. That was my introduction to this job. I still have nightmares from watching the video from that cafeteria, and even though I'm a 5-year Army guy, I can't watch Army movies, Westerns, or anything of violence anymore because of that case. I would like to tell you that was the only case in 14 years of school violence in this county. And you don't hear about juvenile court cases because we don't publicize them. But in the last couple of years, we had a young man in one of our school districts who brought a gun to school with the intention of shooting up his study hall at 1:30. In the morning, he went into the bathroom to load the firearm. He dropped one bullet on the floor. Another student came in and found the bullet, took it to the principal's office, and the principal, along with their police officer who worked in that school, watched the video of that bathroom outside door and interviewed 21 students before they found the student who had the gun, 20 minutes before he was scheduled to go in and shoot up his study hall. We have had 4 or 5 bomb threats in our schools. I have 2 of those pending today. We've had one young man who went into a school with a machete, intending to cause harm. They found him curled up in the fetal position on the bathroom. He had a nervous breakdown before he could go out and cause the harm he was intending to cause in the school. The nature of things we're seeing today are less but worse. We are seeing bigger use of drugs in our younger people. We're seeing a meth problem in this county when it comes to adults. Why does that pertain to me in the juvenile court? Because one of the jobs of the juvenile court is taking children away from parents when they're in a situation which puts the children in harm's way. And unfortunately, if mom is on meth and dad is on meth, those children are not in a safe environment. And we are still struggling with a meth problem in this county. A few years back, we had the heroin problem. In my first 4 months when heroin hit this county, we buried 11 parents who died of overdoses before they came back for their second court hearing. After they invented Narcan, which is the drug that when you take heroin and you OD, your lungs stop working. If you take Narcan and zap yourself with Narcan, it will get your lungs to work again. Narcan is prevalent now with law enforcement, with fire departments, and with other folks. You can get it yourself and have it in your home. And Narcan has stopped people from dying. It hasn't necessarily stopped people from using the drugs. But we deal with the outshake of drugs when it comes to parents being taken away, and we still have that. The best thing we've done in the last year or two, and it's been with the help of with the support of the commissioners, is when I took this job, our detention center was the Portage Geauga County Detention Center down in Shalersville. And so if I put a child in detention, the sheriff's deputies have to transfer them from Chardon to Shalerville. And then when we had hearings, they have to bring them back from Shalerville to Chardon. More importantly, we paid, you as taxpayers paid, for a percentage of that detention center based on our percentage of use. So if we had 25% of use in 1 year, we paid 25% of $2 million to run that center, or roughly $500,000. About 10 years ago, I asked Judge Lawson in Lake County, why can't we use you, the Lake County Detention Center? It's closer, and we'll just pay you by the night. She turned me down. Unfortunately, Judge Lawson passed away, and Judge DeLeon came in. And I made the same pitch, and he agreed. And so today, we're not paying for the Portage Geauga County Detention Center $350,000 to $500,000 a year. We're paying $125 a night to send the child to the Lake County Detention Center. And so this year, instead of paying $300,000 to $400,000 or $500,000, we will pay less than $50,000 for detention for this year. And so that's saving our county a lot of money, not just this year, but for years to come. And the sheriff's deputy only has to drive from Painesville to Chardon and Chardon to Painesville instead of Shalerville. So we're saving their time and saving the cost of doing that. And as I said, the truth is, when I took this job, and Judge Henry had it before me, we were averaging, 13 to 15 kids in detention at any given time. I'm happy to tell you today, I have nobody in detention. We've been able to use other services to try to address the problems of these young folks as they're going along. When I took this job, I believed there was a lot of bad kids. I now believe there's a lot of kids who are in a bad situation. The trauma that they have lived through in their life is something I couldn't even recognize. I had two parents who loved me and would have bled to death for me. These kids don't have that family situation, and they're reacting to the trauma that they have had to live through. So most of the kids in Geauga County, I'm glad to tell you, aren't bad kids. They're just kids who need some help because they've been raised in a bad situation. So that's the juvenile court. The probate court, and I handed out some information for you here. Probate court handles a bunch of things. We handle guardianships. Our county is getting older. And because it's getting older, the probate court has doubled in what we're doing. We have more guardianships where people need somebody to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves. And their children have moved to points out of Ohio and they need help. Or the children just don't want to help them. We have civil commitments. If you have somebody who's having a mental health problem and is a danger to themselves or the community, we conduct the hearings and decide whether they need to be committed in the Geauga County Behavioral Health Unit or in the state hospital. And those cases have gone up dramatically since COVID. We've seen a lot more of those cases than we did before COVID. We take care of your estates. People who pass away and have to transfer property. If they don't have certain things to avoid probate, they're going to come to see us so that we can transfer the property. And that brings us to this pamphlet I gave you today. This is called the Good Deeds Program. I started this program over 10 years ago. If you do everything in this pamphlet and you pass away, and I have some bad news for everybody in the room here, the only thing I know as a judge for certain is all of us someday will pass away. That's just a fact. So if you want to prepare for that, do everything in this pamphlet. And when you pass away, your estate will pass to your relatives or your friends or whoever you want to go to without ever coming to probate court. You will save the time, you will save the money and the aggravation. Have a joint and survivorship deed with your spouse. Have a transfer on death affidavit to your children if you're the surviving spouse. Have transfer on death or payable on death on your bank accounts at the bank so you don't have to come and see us to transfer your bank accounts. Make sure your beneficiaries on the insurance policy are still alive. And if not, get you people on there who are going to survive you. And if you do all these steps, neither you or your family will ever have to come to probate court. This program's been so successful, we've been able to eliminate 2 clerks at the court because we've been able to cut down all the small estate stuff because people are doing this. We hold a program several times a year. You'll get a robocall when the next one's going to be held. You're welcome to come to the program. They're free. We go through this checklist for 45 minutes. But if you can read it yourself and do it yourself, talk to your banker, talk to your insurance man, save your family a lot of aggravation. And last but not least, on this card, we talked about the Youth program, but we also talk about our help center. I started a help center at our court several years ago. We have a retired lawyer, David Welty, who provides free legal instruction and advice. He cannot represent you, but he can help you do your own thing. And so if you have questions about your estate, if you're looking at this brochure and you have questions, you're welcome to call Mr. Welty and set up an appointment. It is free. And come and see Mr. Welty if you have questions or if you need some assistance in doing this, and you will be able to have some ability to get this done yourself without running up a big legal fee in the process. The probate court, like I said, is quite busy. We are, since COVID, the number of caseload has gone up dramatically, in part because people are living longer and then dying, and in part because people are having more health problems for a variety of reasons, probably not related to COVID, but that end up coming before our court for guardianships. So that is what I wanted to tell you about today. The county judicial system is in good shape. We are functioning well, and if you have any issues with your probate issues, call the help center, follow the checklist, save yourself some money. Thank you, Jim, for the chance to get out here. I'll pass this on to